Thakanki, all praises to Yohiwa Wakantanka. Praise be to the earthly mother, the Pachamama, and all of her earthly angels, the Wakakuna. Praise be to the Huakan Samai, the Shekinah, the Holy Spirit, in the name of Matzah, Yuehan, unification to the nation. So guys, I finally, got my head around doing this. Now, there is just so much that I can add to this. I could really go down the list. And if you guys want me to, just tell me in the comment section, and I will go down the list. I'll go down the whole list on each of the different elements and tell you what I learned from them. But today, I'm just going to give you, a little bit of what I gathered from my meditative studies and being around them, watching them, right? Just vibing with the spirit, right? So we're going to get to that. So I wrote about 3 pages here. So I'll probably add more to the next part if you guys want me to, and if you guys want me to talk about something else, or if you don't mention it, then I'll just talk about something else. So to start, let me make a disclaimer. Just so you guys understand my perspective and where I'm coming from. Now, of course, I can always do more studying on this. I'm constantly, looking at my past stuff and, refining it, excuse me, and trying to find the truth. 'Cause that's all I'm really trying to do. I don't really have a horse in the race. I think like a researcher, right? Of course, I do have my biases, but everyone has biases. That being said, I really am just trying to find the truth. Now, I've already done a video on the Ifa religion, on voodoo and stuff like that. And if I did not make it clear in the video, voodoo comes from the ancient Canaanite religion. This is the religion that we mixed with. Like, we mixed our religion with the Canaanites' religion. You will find the origin of voodoo among the Yoruba people, who have showed time after time are descendants of the ancient Canaanites. Time and time again, I've showed that on this channel. So, I do not necessarily agree with the practices of voodoo. I had a lot of people who've been commenting on the Ifa video, talking that hot stuff, and it's okay. It's gonna be okay, right? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Now, I'm going to give you my perspective on it as it stands, right? I'm not trying to disrespect anyone's culture or religion, what have you. I'm just letting you know what I do on this channel and how I view what these quote-unquote orishas are, or these voodoo gods, right? Like, the reason why people are mixing the two, say, oh, they're just the same as what you're doing. You're worshiping, the elements and stuff. Like, that's what we do. I'm like, it's not the same thing, because I don't worship them. And I'm going to explain to you what my relationship is with them. I say that I praise them, but I can praise you. I'm not worshiping you. I'm reverencing you. It's a difference. And I'm giving all praises. I'm worshiping. If I'm praising, I'm just reverencing. It's a big difference. So let's read my disclaimer. There are various spirits on this earthly plane. However, I have no respect for any of them that are not of the organic group of spirits that chose their path in Eden. The Books of Remembrance calls them their Erkadeshi. They are the only ones I follow. Then, you then have spirits that chose wrong and spirits that didn't make a choice. This is during, the fall, when Semihaza, he fell down to the earth and everyone chose sides, right? Some spirits chose a side, some they stayed neutral. But the so-called Erkadeshi are the ones that chose good. And because of that, they are the only ones that I take advice from. They're the only ones that I follow. Everyone else, they don't matter. And even them, they don't have quote-unquote authority over me. Right? So let's continue. I'm not concerned with them, talking about the other spirits. Everything other than the Wakakuna, I am not concerned with. I am only concerned with following the guidance of the Wakakuna. There are many spirits who pretend to be ancestral or guides or what have you. Whether they are or not, I do not care for their opinions nor their gripes. I've had people say, well, you gotta appease the ancestors. How do you know that's my ancestor? And if it is, why are they here? Shouldn't they be resting with the Most High? Why are they here bothering me? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Now, could there be something to it? Again, I have to study this more. But as it stands, I don't care about any ancestral spirits right now. I just don't, because one, I have not studied it enough. But two, mainly, how these people are describing these quote-unquote ancestors, they sound like demons. They sound like they're trying to manipulate people. I've heard a lot of people say, well, these ancestors told me to dig these things out the ground and stuff. Well, did you know that the Nephilim are in the ground? Did you know that? And they're trying to get you to release them because those are their brethren. Oh, with the ancestors, they say I have to, get this chicken and kill it, and then, I'll have good luck. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You see, that's what happens when you're following these other spirits. These spirits are the bums and hobos of the spirit world. They're vagabonds on this earthly plane. Whether they're actual ancestors or not, I don't care. Nimrod's also our ancestor. Japheth is also our ancestor. They're distant ancestors. If their spirit was on this earth, would you follow them just because they're ancestors? I would hope not. So all those people keep commenting on the Ifa religion video. Listen, dude. If that's your thing, go ahead. I've already told you what it is. Now be about your way. You're not going to change my mind. You're not. Unless you give me something that specifically shows me what this ancestral thing is. If you can give me that, I'll look into it. But I'm not a child. You're not going to tell me what to do and change my mind, bro. This is not going to happen. But anyway, let's continue to read. Adam and his children were given authority over everything under Matzah. They were given everything. This is the contract of Shabuah. This is why the other quote-unquote angels and spirits, how they were hating on Adam. Because the Most High gave him everything. Everything. They were like, what the hell? I'm not about to serve this lowly being. You gave him everything above me? Yes, I did. And they rebelled. So no, I don't serve any damn body. They're my servants. I tell them what to do. I'm the biggest boss here. Underneath Hamashiach. There is no other. There is no other. I serve nobody but the Most High. Right? Through his son, through the earth. But that's the only way. Right? It's the only way I'm going. But anyway. This is the contract of Shabuah, and any other entities have no authority over me. They are my slaves and footstools. The only servants the only spirits I respect are the spirits of the earth. Any spirit that asks you to dig up anything or to shed blood, those are fallen spirits. I'm just letting you know right now. They are the bums of the spirit world. They are dishonorable vagabonds without a home because they were kicked out of their home. And now they're trying to coerce people on this earth who are naive enough to follow them. This has been happening from the beginning of time. Not the beginning of time, but for a very long time. So I'm just letting you know my perspective. Do your own research. Do it for yourself. Do not listen to me. But if you see this again, do not be surprised. Right? I'm not a person who's heavy into books. But after I was, meditating with the earth, those books of remembrance definitely are the closest to the truth. They definitely are. Because just me meditating with the earth, a lot of the teachings that it says in the book, they kind of opened up to me. And it made a lot more sense. And I was okay. Yeah, this definitely is something that are the word. Or they're the words of the Most High. And all throughout the book, it's warning you the difference between the good spirits and the wicked spirits. You just have to study and you have to pay attention. Do not move too fast. Study for yourself. Right? I don't care how many people get upset me talking about their culture, their religion. I don't care. Respectfully, I don't care. Please go somewhere else. Continuing. Not even the Wakakuna show any sort of authority over you. Their relationship with you is to teach and nurture you. In return, you love and protect them. But they are waiting to crown you. They are not looking to be crowned or respected by you. They just want the best for you. They're just trying to teach you so that you can have a pathway back to the Father. They're not interested in being respected and, oh, well, to appease me, this is what you have to do. That's not what they do. That's what the wicked spirits do. Right? I'll smack them right in the face. You talking to me like that? No. They can't touch me because I have that mindset. I don't worship any of them. I'm not subservient to them. I don't care how much they want to scream and yell and cry. You can't touch me. Doesn't matter. These are the only spirits that I follow. And I follow them because they don't ask for my authority. Yeah, they don't ask for my authority. They don't ask for my respect. If I give them respect, it's because they have earned their respect. Right? This is not a master-servant relationship that I have with them. This is a friendly relationship. This is a reciprocal relationship. They give to me, I give to them. That's the type of relationship I have with the Watchers. Now, with the other spirits in different groups of people, I view you as a servant. If you want to act like a master, I'm going to treat you like a servant. But if you act like a servant, I'll treat you like a master. This is why Yohiwashi, when he walked on this earth, he was washing feet. He served. D'Angelo did a live a long time ago talking about that. If you're a true man of so-called God, you'll be a servant to the people. You're not looking to be respected. And you can say the same thing about the spirits. They're not looking to be respected. They're looking to serve you. They're already respected. They already feel respected. And because of their humility, I respect them. Right? I have a profound amount of respect for them. I told you guys a while ago. My grandmother, how she acts as an authority figure. She doesn't demand authority. She's actually very silent. She does things in silence. And because I see what she does, that makes me respect her even more. If she asks me for anything, I jump up and do it. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Hey, can you take out the garbage? I'm already up. Oh, hey, can you work on this for me? Of course. That's the type of relationship I have with the Wakakuna, with the Watchers. Right? It's the same type of relationship. It's a relationship of love. And the next part, we'll go over truly how love is the center of all. It is the center of all rules. And it's the only rule that matters. They are waiting to crown you. They are not looking to be crowned or respected by you. They want to grow and teach the men so that the men can be authorities that they can follow. So they're just trying to nurture us as, the brothers, so that we can be the kings and rulers that they can follow. They want to be led. They're not trying to lead us. They're trying to teach us to lead. That's what they're doing. They're trying to help us be men. And they want to love and commune with the women as they have a more sentimental connection with them. They see the women as friends. They want to dwell with the women. They want to have a relationship with the women. They can share emotional things with them, right? They can connect with them on a more emotional level. That's the type of relationship they want to have with the women. These are the spirits that I follow and I respect, right? The other ones, they're riffraff. They don't mean anything because they don't have your best interest in mind. They see us as being tied to their purpose. Both men and women are both tied to their purpose. on the other hand, spirits like the quote-unquote Orishas in voodoo want to be honored and revered. And if you pay attention, you'll have spirits like Ogun. He's the god of iron and war. Nigga, that's Azazel, bro. Like, come on, guys. You guys have to study more. You have to study more and study for yourself. Study what these different quote-unquote Orishas, what do they actually go back to? Why do they all have to do with metals? And these spirits I'm talking about have to do with the earth, the trees, and things of that sort. These are idols. They're idols. They're vagabonds. They're casted down. The only relationship I will have with them was when I'm sealing them up and they're doing my bidding, the same way Solomon did it. I will seal them up and I'll use them as my footstool, and they'll build our shit back. That's what the relationship I will have with them. You heard? You heard? The Orishas in voodoo want to be honored and revered. A main way these spirits are satisfied is through blood sacrifice of animals and sometimes even human beings. This is the Canaanite religion spoken about in the Bible that wants us not to engage in. You know a tree by its fruit. If we are to deal with these other spirits, it will be a master-servant relationship, and I sure as hell ain't no servant. And it's only that because that's what they ask for. They ask for a master-servant relationship. They want to be the masters and they want us to be the servants. Okay, cool. So I'm going to flip that back on you, and you could be the servant and I'll be the master. Because that's what it also says in the books of remembrance. Those that try to take away free agency and free will, they lose their free agency and free will. If you want to make servants, you'll be a servant. And that's how it goes. If you want to make servants, you'll be a servant. And that's at least for me. Like, I'll have a master servant relationship, and I'm being the master. If you want to be the servant, go ahead. That's loud. In this writing that I've done, you will see a common theme of spirit, of the spirit. Alright, I messed that up. The kind of spirits of Pachamama, aka the Wakakuna, have. So you'll see a common theme that they all have. And this is a public service announcement. This is for public consumption. Do what you want with it. This is my channel. This is my opinion, my perspective. Do what you want. Now, Pachamama equals charity. If you want to put it in one word, it's charity. The definition of charity: to love and sacrifice despite of sin. The phrase, "a face only a mother can love." You guys heard that before, right? They use that as a diss, right? A diss to people who are not very attractive looking. But the truth is that the reason why they're saying a face only a mother can love is because that's how women are. Like, they can love anything. If they put their mind to it, they can love anything. That's their strength. But you ever wonder why it never puts a father in the saying? That's because men do not have as much charity as women do. They don't have as much unconditional love as women do. This is their gift, and it makes them loved on a much larger scale. This is why women get, a much more easier time in the face of, like, the public opinion of people. They don't. Women, they get way less jail time than men do for that same reason. Because women are the embodiment of unconditional love, whether they decide to use it or not. Because women can also cut themselves off from their charity if they decide to do so. Right? This is their gift, and it makes them loved on a much larger scale. Men care more about being respected than being loved. Men want to give structure and see it implemented properly. Men care more about their wife showing them respect than their children showing them respect. And if you really think about it, that is the truth. If a man is disrespected by the child, then he's just like, okay, well, that's not as bad as the woman being disrespectful to the husband. because that just means that the woman just has to, put it into gear a little bit more with the child, right? And he understands that the child doesn't really know what they're saying and doing, but the woman should know. So he'll feel a lot more offended if the woman is disrespectful than the child, right? They're fine because the child loves the mother for her nurturing abilities. Actually, whoops, I skipped a part. They're fine with their wife being looked at as the one who cares for the child more in the eyes of their children. So if the child sees the mother as being the more useful parent, right? And the father, he doesn't do anything, right? The father's usually okay with that, because I actually viewed my dad like that for a minute, right? When I was young, I'm like, oh, my mother does all this stuff for me, but my dad, he just goes to work, and when he comes home, he just watches TV. Sometimes he plays with me, but usually he's doing his own thing. Oh, I like my mom. Like, she gives me smiles and she cooks me things when I ask her to, and right? That's how children think, because, that's their mother. But a father is okay with that. He's okay with that. Right? That's because motherhood, as far as like very early on, is something that was given particularly to women. That's a gift that the Most High has given them. Right? That's just not something that we have as men. Like, a child is never going to, I'm not thinking a child, I'm talking like an infant, a toddler, is never going to look at us the same way he's going to look at his mother. But we should be okay with that. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is exactly how the relationship is with our father and our mother and us. But we are children that have been kidnapped. We've been taken away from our mother. We've never experienced the swaddling love that a mother has for their children. That's the situation that we are in as a people. We are missing the mother's charity, her unconditional love. And that's why we set so many conditions on other people, because we're missing it for ourselves. What happened to my music? Oh. The father feels accomplished that he has actually sorry. So the child, he loves his mother because, of her nurturing, right? Now the mother loves the father because of his foundational abilities that give her the comfort and to care for and take care of this child. See, the father's hard work allows her to be in this house, right? To be able to be comfortable to take care of this child in the first place. So in actuality, she sees her nurturing abilities connected to her husband's abilities. They're not separate. They're the same. And the father feels accomplished that he has supplied the means for his wife to be loved by the child. So he loves the fact that his wife is loved by the child. He doesn't necessarily need the child's love. He just needs his wife's love. Right? But if he can get the child's love too, that's a bonus. Right? The father feels accomplished that he has supplied the means for his wife to be loved by the child. Therefore, we must go through the same means. We show the father love by showing the mother love. All of our worship of the father must go through the mother. The father didn't just tell us he loved us. He showed us by making the earth. And matzah is here to be that reminder and link between the mother and the father. Yes, matzah is the connection. I went over that last time. He is the sun, as well as the sun, S-U-N. He connects the upper world to the lower world. So when we are trying to go directly to the father, the son tells us, hey, you got to go through the mother. Hey. You can't keep any of these Torah laws unless you have love behind it. If there's no love, then there's nothing. When he's talking about love, he's talking about the mother. We must learn our foundation from our mother, and then we can truly understand our father. Satan is trying to destroy our mother because without the context of the mother, he can make the father into whatever he wants him to be. For example, instead of us viewing the father as a father who is eternally suffering, we view him as Yah, the terrible God who throws down lightning at those who pisses him off. And that's not who he is. I know a lot of Israelites think that's who he is. That's not who he is. You are talking about Baal in another form. Baal is the one, or Saturn is the one that imprisons those and subjugates those, and if you don't listen to him, he's going to strike you down. That's how Satan is. That's why people again say that the God of the Old Testament is Satan. They're being a bit hyperbolic, but I know what they're saying. This is why Hamashiach talked about, I ain't come to, take away the law, but to fulfill it. But 1 second. Alright. So, the people of the Andes, and I'm not talking about like the recent people, like the Inca, like, the Israelites, but I'm talking about the people of Shem before the Israelites, and even before the people of Shem. The people of the Andes did not have a money system. Instead, they believed in the rule of reciprocity, or what they call Ayni. Ayni means I give you anything you want and you give me everything I want. It's a bit hyperbolic. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but that's in a nutshell what it is. It means that I give you my 100% and you give me your 100%. It means that I try my best to please your needs and you do the same for me. There is no set price. It means that I will work for 7 hours planting food in the field until I'm tired. In turn, I may trade my service with a woman who spent 7 hours making clothes for me. At the end of the day, we exchange our services with each other. We do not have a graph on what is more valuable or what isn't. That is not fair, as men are the stronger vessel. We do more because we were given more. So, we instead do our best and we expect others to do their best. That way, there could be no regrets, no back and forth, no arguments. If I trust that this person did their best to be of service to me, then I have no choice but to appreciate that. Right? I have to appreciate that. Right? And I should feel fulfilled that I'm helping my sister or my brother. And they should feel fulfilled that they're doing the same for me. And if I'm doing a little bit more work, then that person appreciates that. And they thank the Most High for me, and the Most High blesses me. See how this is all a cycle? But what a lot of people do is they just want to do things on their own. Right? They don't believe in this rule because they've been jaded by Babylon. Well, and if you want matzah to be in your community, this is what you do. But we'll go over that in another part more. Ayni, or Ayni, I don't even know how you say this actually. I think it's Ayni, maybe. Ayni, I think is Ayni, is also the relationship we had with Pachamama. The sun shines on my skin. The melanin in my skin produces energy for the other plants, water, trees, and air. It produces oxygen in my own body and shoots out energy to everything else. I speak to the plants and tell them we are now linked in our energy. We share the spirit and memory of a hard day's work. The plants, which absorb energy from both the sun and I, are eaten by me and give me their stored energy they got from the sun. The plants are happy to do so, as this is a testament of their gratitude for giving them a purpose in their cycle, as well as helping them grow in their process. So throughout their whole growth cycle, I've given them a purpose, right? Me eating them, using them to nourish my body to make me better, has given them a purpose. Not just with me, but to the whole scheme of things. Because once I eat the plant, that energy gets shot back into the earth, into the skies, into the sun, and what have you. So their purpose is very mighty, and they appreciate that, right? When I need to relieve myself, I put it into Pachamama, or the earth. She jumps to accept this, as she can now use her feminine energy to amplify what I gave her. She can feel like a mother and take something I had no use for and turn it into something bigger, and turn it into bigger and stronger plants. The earth takes the water we relieve ourselves of and brings it to herself. There, she cleans it and purifies it and puts it back into the clouds. The clouds thank us for giving them a purpose and spew back fresh water from what we gave them. We play the drums and flutes out of them. They enjoy playing with us, especially when they are used to worship our Father, when those instruments are used to worship the Father. They truly do love that. They appreciate us because they could not make themselves into instruments and play themselves. And we could not make instruments out of nothing. So we worship the Most High together. We need them and they need us. We are one. We are one. And I suggest that you guys meditate on how one you are truly with the earth. Because the oneness that you have is very great. Now, to go over the animals. This is the only one I'm going to go over today, because it's already like a 30-minute video. But if we could put what the animals teach us in a word, it would be obedience. The animals are a lot physically stronger than humans are. And until radioactive weapons and guns, if the animals decide to wage war on us, that war would be over in an hour. And in fact, it probably still might be over in an hour. But however, when they see us, they submit to us and respect us. If we want land they are living on, they move and find a new home without fighting back or waging war. And after all of what man has done to them, they still play their role. The animals continue to be around man after we do whatever we want to them. The animals constantly are eaten, killed, and pushed to the side and domesticated. We slaughter them in farms. We use their meat to sustain us when we don't even have to. Let me again remind you that animals are a lot stronger and faster than human beings. If 10 chickens wanted to attack someone, the 10 chickens would seriously harm or even kill this individual. Instead, the animals allow people to do what they please, whether they agree with it or not. This is not to be viewed in fully a negative way. The animals are here for that very reason. They are here to receive your protection, as well as give up their life for you if need be. The animals teach you to lay down your life for the Father whenever He calls you to do so. The animals are a reflection of us. We are to treat the animals in the same way the Father treats us. This is why those who are cruel to animals, the Father will be cruel to. The animals give us a perspective of how to treat the animals. The animals gives us a perspective on how to treat the animals in the same way the Father treats us. Okay, I wrote this kind of fast. The animals give us a perspective of how the Father views His children. When an animal is tortured and killed, it makes us sad to our core. This is what the Father feels when we go through hardship, and even more so because we are His children. The animals teach us to suffer for the sake of the Father, and to have the faith to be able to do whatever He asks of us. So we can see animals and we wonder why they're so obedient to us. Why do they flee from us? They're stronger than us. It doesn't make any sense. That is to teach us to trust the Father. The same way the animals have a certain trust for us, right? And by trust, I'm talking about they don't rebel against us, right? They have a certain obedience to us, the same way we should have a certain obedience to the Father, right? The animals do not ask why. They don't actually. They don't. They're not like why when they're getting slaughtered and eaten, right? They don't do that. This does not mean that the animals do not experience fear. This does not mean that they don't have feelings or willingly love to be killed. But they have more than enough power to fight back and decide not to. The animals also prefer a certain type of way they would like to be killed, if they are to be killed. For example, the Ainu of ancient Japan would use a stick from the willow tree to kill fish because according to them, the fish only tolerated being killed with a willow tree stick. And they will comply because they love the animals, they love the fish, they respect them, they love them the same way I love you. Right? They don't, just because they don't talk back, that doesn't mean they don't have feelings. Right? This is mutual respect. This is a cycle. This is a relationship. So, I have another video I want to show you guys real quick. Give me a second. Okay, so this is a video that I took from the park. And, you know, I feed the geese pretty often. And this is something that I learned from them just by watching them. So, let's play this. Hold up. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm trying to put it in this area. But you'll see them. They're going to start fighting and stuff, bro. See? Scaring. That one is scaring it away. Now, see? She is not playing. Now, when they start doing that, I'm going to ask you guys something. Do you think I feel like going and beating up those geese? Do you think I feel like beating up the geese that are bullying these other ones? No, I don't. Instead, all I do is feed the ones that got bullied. That's the only thing I do. I don't feel like punishing the ones that are trying to gangster them out of food. I'm just like, all right, well, they must be hungry, right? Now, I don't necessarily like it, but I don't get the need to, you know, now I'm going to beat up that geese. Like, no, that's not how I feel. And that taught me a great lesson. That lets me know how the Father feels about us. Like, this one is aggressive as hell, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. But instead, what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to throw the food her way. Instead, I'll throw even more food over there. More food than I threw in the first place. So, that let me know how the Father views us. You know, he does not hate any of us. You know, but he'll equalize certain things. Like, if you acting like this, then, I mean, I'm going to have to throw the food the other way. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Because I still have love for all of these animals. I don't hold any grudge against it. But, you know. So, this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is a very... Yeah, they be going at it, bro. They be definitely going at it. So view it from that perspective, man. The Father, he does not, you know, view you in the way that you might think. Never have any viewpoint of how you think the Father might see you, because you can't really see through his eyes. So it doesn't make any sense to put yourself in that position. And let me mention this. The geese don't know what I'm thinking. They don't try to know what I'm thinking, right? They don't. And the geese that get the most food are the ones that patiently wait for the food. The ones that stand by me and wait for the food are the ones that actually get the food. The ones that bully other people out of food, okay, I stop giving them food. I give it to the other ones. Even when the geese is gangstering these other geese out of food, I'm not, you know, I don't feel any vitriol against it. I feel disappointed, but I don't feel vitriol. I'm sorry, whatever. I'm gonna just feed these other geese, right? Ain't no hatred. Ain't no, all right, I'm gonna be vengeful, right? And I'm gonna pay you back. No, I'm just gonna give these other, ducks and geese and birds and whatever, what they lost out on. And whatever that she wanted to have, see, now she has to, pick up whatever I left from before. And I'm just not going to throw any her way until she learns how to behave. So these other geese get first dibs now. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So that's all, guys. Wait, actually, look. Now that geese, I come here often. That geese is like disabled or something, and it always gets picked on. That's another thing. I'm so happy it came because it reminded me. Now I've tried to feed that geese so many. I'm talking about this one where my mouse is. That one. It's just standing off to the corner. Times, but every time I try to feed her, all the other geese bully her out of the food. And when I literally went up to her to feed her, she was too scared to take it from me. Because she started running from the geese before they even came. So you also cannot be like that. You have to know how to accept a blessing, accept a gift when it comes to you. You cannot be afraid of the Father. You can't be. Cannot be afraid of the Father. So that's all, guys. I'll see you. Alright, so that's what I wanted to share, guys. We'll continue this conversation in the next part. May peace be with you.